It is the agenda for the 21st century you're living in today. For a brave new world where everything that you cherished and held true will no longer exist.
A day on from the quake that killed more than 100 people in Indonesia, rescue teams continue a desperate hunt for survivors. Emergency workers and volunteers combing the wreckage in search of signs of life, many of them picking up rubble piece by piece with only their hands. At least 5 aftershocks have been felt since the quake hit on Wednesday, authorities warning residents to sleep outside in case more buildings are brought down. More than 700 people are injured, some of them critically, and medical centres are stretched beyond their limits. Broken bones and gashes are being treated in hospital corridors, and health workers say there simply aren't enough staff to tend to the wounded. More than 1,000 people have been deployed for disaster relief, including officers from the military. One day on from the tragedy, they know they're in a race against time to find survivors, as the critical 48-hour mark approaches in the wake of disaster.
Located along the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia constantly faces massive earthquakes. As Sakina just mentioned, in 2004, a strong quake triggered a series of devastating tsunamis along coasts bordering the Indian Ocean. The northern and western coastal areas of Sumatra were seriously hit, with the death toll reaching at least 250,000 in the country alone. Just 3 months later, another quake hit Sumatra with a magnitude of 8.6, killing more than 1,300. And in 2007, again in Sumatra, a magnitude 8.5 quake killed 23. And in April 2012, a doublet quake rated 8.2 and 8.6 killed 10 in Wharton Basin off Sumatra.
An 8.0 earthquake hit off the Solomon Islands, that's near Papua New Guinea, right near Australia, and we're told now that there's warnings. Widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible.
2 underage arson suspects are now in police custody in Tennessee. They're accused of starting the deadly fires that claimed the lives of more than a dozen people last month.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god. It literally is too.
Investigators say they've discovered the cause of a large sinkhole that nearly swallowed a school bus in Brooklyn. And as CBS 2's Ali Bauman reports, people who live and work in that neighborhood say they've been complaining about the problem for years.
The city was still drilling for answers some 18 hours after this school bus fell into a sinkhole on 23rd Street between 5th and 6th Avenues in the Greenwood Heights section of Brooklyn. It happened around 4:30 Tuesday afternoon. Police say only the driver was on board and was not seriously injured.
If there was kids on that bus, they really would have got hurt because the whole axle was smashed off.
The Department of Environmental Protection's street closure and road work to investigate the problem created a big headache for Alan Wolf, who couldn't load his food delivery trucks for his customers. Mostly schools, senior centers, and food pantries.
Check it out, people. Plane is not moving because it's not a plane. What is it is the trillion-dollar question. Well, from my observation, some kind of orbs that can display holograms, project holograms. I know, it's very bizarre. Doesn't make any sense, but here you go. Still filming it. Still not moving. Check it out. Matrix glitch. Wow. One of the best vids I ever got. Really close. Usually not this close. Check it out. Still not moving, people. And we're a minute and a half into the clip. Plane should have been landed at Philadelphia International by now, which is less than 5 miles from this area. And I'll pan to the river and show you where flight paths are. This is not a flight path. That's a flight path down there along the river. It takes you all the way out to the airport. This, check it out. It's still going. I'm gonna lose it soon though. Still going. It's definitely not my POV, like I've been told many times. You tell me. Is that plane moving?
America's most elusive government base, known as Area 51, seems to get more and more mysterious every year. Thanks to satellite imagery, the hidden site is visible from space. Google's time-lapse feature reveals just how the base has expanded over the past 32 years.
And according to the satellite imagery, this base has been under construction and expanding for at least 3 decades. Now, it does appear like a second runway has been installed on the eastern end of the base, and it looks as if construction has been very heavy consistently on the north side of the base. But whatever it is that they're working on remains shrouded in mystery, and that's because it wasn't even until 2013 that the CIA officially acknowledged that Area 51 was indeed a top secret U.S. government research facility.
One woman's experience with TSA agents has the agency apologizing. Denise Albert, who's battling breast cancer, says the incident at Los Angeles International Airport left her feeling violated and in tears. She said she was forced to endure a cavity search in public. Part of that Sunday incident was captured on cell phone video, which she posted to her Facebook page.
Yes.
You can't touch me.
So you're going to go straight down the hallway and make a left.
You cannot touch me. That was the part I was explaining. You can't touch me there. You can't touch me there. Sorry.
What's the issue?
I have breast cancer. I had a lumpectomy. I have a port in me. You can't touch me there.
Alright. So that is part of the procedure. We have to clear everything. So like she was explaining, she's going to use the back of her hands. She's going to use as much pressure as she needs to clear the area.
They lost their habitat. People started clearing down vegetation to create room for agriculture. So in the process, the giraffes started dying due to lack of food. And also human beings used to kill them in case they invaded in the crop field. Due to that reason, there was human-wildlife conflict in the parts of western Kenya. Because the problem is not with the animals alone, it is with human beings. And people have to know the importance of this wildlife. And we have to understand that we need to give all the wild animals their space.
Being here with these animals right now, I think it's such an experience, and we should learn how to keep them and protect them instead of, make them disappear off this world, because they are meant to be here.
The American news magazine Time has named President-elect Donald Trump its Person of the Year. The magazine's managing editor says the choice was straightforward. Trump responded to the news saying it's a great honor. The photograph of the president-elect carries the caption, President of the Divided States of America. Democratic Party presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was the runner-up.
In an interview, Pope Francis said media outlets need to avoid the sickness of coprophilia, that is, always wanting to cover scandals, covering nasty things, even if they are true.
is a film that is made by John Pilger, and it investigates and reveals this massive build-up of American military forces around China. So what's being reported in the mainstream media as China's ambitious expansion, its reclaiming of land in the South China Sea, is in fact a response, because according to Pilger, what's not being reported is that China itself is under threat. So this pivot to Asia that President Obama talked about in 2011 has resulted in 400 US bases encircling China, essentially. Pilger says the point of this reporting in the mainstream media is to prime the world to regard China as the new enemy. He spoke to RT's Going Underground about the film. He told Afshin Rattansi that the aim of it was to break a silence around the fact that the US and China could be heading for war.
We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite.
In a time of domestic crisis, men of goodwill and generosity should be able to unite regardless of party or politics.